Hello, my name is Craig Maloney, and I'd like to talk to you a little bit about dealing with fear. So, I won't talk too much about what fear is. I'm pretty sure that this year, if anything, has taught you everything you need to know about fear. But what I would like to talk to you about, though, is some of the ways for dealing with fear and some of the causes of fear. Well, one of the main causes of fear is uncertainty. Definitely feeling out of control, feeling groundless, feeling basically uncertainty, not knowing what's going on and what's coming in the future. That is a huge cause of fear. And there are different ways that we deal with that fear. Not necessarily great ways, but here's some ways that I've dealt with fear in the past. One way is to run to distractions. Social media, streaming media, other things. We tend to distract ourselves whenever we run into fear. Not necessarily a great strategy, but something that's worked in the past for us. Another way is to avoid and hide away from the fear, and especially situations that bring us fear. You know, the worst conversations that we'll have, the ones that we'll procrastinate on the most, are the ones where we're going to feel completely out of control and uncertain about what the outcome is, because someone's going to not like whatever it is that we're doing. That gets to the other thing with procrastination. Procrastination is a huge thing. A lot of people managed to clean out their basements during the pandemic, partly because they didn't have a whole lot of other things to do, but also because it's a great way to procrastinate and not have to deal with the fear. So procrastination is one way to deal with it. Another way is to throw ourselves into work, make ourselves completely busy so we don't have to deal with whatever it is, because we're just too darn busy with whatever it is that we're doing at that moment. Not necessarily a great strategy, but again, something that's worked in the past. And a lot of this can lead to some self-recrimination and another anxiety of, I didn't really deal with the fear, or I let the fear overtake me. These are things that we can bring ourselves in and make ourselves feel, bad about whatever it is that we're afraid of. That's not necessarily a great way to deal with this stuff. So what are some great ways that we can deal with this? Well, one way is to just pause and notice that we're having the fear. Just say, okay, I'm in this moment, I'm having fear. The next thing to do is to pay attention to the fear and say, okay, what is it that this fear is bringing to me? Why am I feeling this particular fear? And notice some details about the fear. So maybe you can notice where it is in your body. Is it a feeling that's inside your stomach? Is it something where you're feeling tightness in your chest? Is it something where you're feeling it in your head? Notice some details about that fear. So that way, in the future, you can recognize it sooner and say, oh, I'm feeling fear, but also just to understand what it is that fear is bringing to you. And then you can welcome the fear. One way that I've heard it explained is to invite it for tea or something like that. But basically give that fear some space in your life so that you can pay attention to it and be curious about what it is that fear is bringing to you. And then you can open up to the fear. So not only do you invite it for tea, but you also are really curious about what it is that fear is bringing to you, and maybe some of the reasons for that fear being in your life. Maybe it's a new opportunity or something like that. Maybe it's something that you need to learn. Maybe it's something that a conversation that you have to have, a very difficult conversation that you have to have with a loved one. At least you can open up to that fear and realize why that fear has shown up to you. So it doesn't have to be, like you're feeling like you're being imprisoned by that fear, or that there's some recrimination with that fear. You can open up to that fear and allow yourself to feel the fear and be with that fear. And we all feel fear. Every one of us is feeling fear. Some of us are a little bit more than others right now, but we are all feeling fear. And it's okay to feel that fear. It's okay to acknowledge that we're feeling fear. And maybe even letting other people know in your life that you're feeling fear. Maybe one way to help out with that. So I'd like to thank you for listening to me ramble about fear, and I hope you have a great rest of your Pi Ohio. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.